let's just say I'm
Are you
gonna,
recording?
I'm gonna go back to how I was when I first came from Bethel, and I want a regular relationship with someone, but I've got to compete with people who have been in the world, and here I am coming from a perspective where if you just talk to a woman regularly on a phone, you're considered dating. So I'm in a situation where uh, I'm testing waters that I've never really been in before.
Mm-hmm.
And you're a woman, so you understand what it is that women are looking for in a guy. You can really put people in a situation where you can kind of even the playing field a little bit. For guys that are coming out of a cult, you know what I mean? They just want a regular relationship, and they're competing against guys who've been out. They've been out.
Okay.
We want to even the playing field a little bit.
So I'm sorry. I don't want to interrupt because I have a bad habit of doing that.
No, you're fine.
Okay. So first, let's try to change the vernacular,
Okay.
your verbiage. So it's not about competition. The world don't is so everything that you were taught in this cult, you have to try, and it was all programming.
Right.
It's almost like, I don't know if you've heard of MK Ultra mind control, Monarch mind control. If you haven't looked that up, but that's really what it was. Sorry, those glasses are bothering me, but that's really what it is. So you have to program yourself to get out of that mindset, and how you do that is really just trial and error. But I can help. I can help, and I'm not saying you, Marcus. I'm saying people out there. Period. It's just trial and error. But first, the vernacular. It's not a competition. The world don't give a damn about that.
Okay.
And when I say that, what I'm saying is it's not a competition about an ex J Dub versus a man in the world, or ex J Dub man versus a man in the world, or ex J Dub woman versus a woman in the world. The woman ain't looking. The woman in the world that's been in the world,
right,
is not looking at it like that. Only the ex J Dubs are, because that's our programming to always is different. No one else, the world doesn't think of us as different. Only we do. They don't care.
Yeah.
If I met you on the street and you came up to me and you started talking about something interesting, I don't give a damn where you came from, what your background was. My only thing that I'm thinking of is if you're a gentleman and you come up to me in a polite way where we can spark up a good conversation. That's the only thing that a woman is thinking about. So it's getting out of that cultish thinking. It's going to take a while for people that just came out, but it's all on you. It's the same thing. It's the same. You can liken it to having a grudge against somebody.
Right.
That other person don't know you have a grudge. Only you do. So you really just tripping within yourself. And you have to just teach yourself to kind of get over that, because that other person not tripping.
Well,
so I think that's where it starts. You're not competing with, when you walk up to a woman, when a man walks up to a woman, that woman is not thinking about, here's another one, or what is he gonna say to me that the next person, unless that woman is damaged, but that's a whole other video. for the average woman, she's not thinking about that. We're really not. We're really just thinking about how this conversation, how you approach us, what our conversation is like. If you're a gentleman, if you an asshole, if you a thug, if you're a businessman, and we can tell all that just by the way you approach us. So it's not, but that's what we're looking at. We don't know what you've been through. No one does.
Right.
We don't know all that. So it's really just getting out of your own head.
That's true.
You know.
That's true. Because keep in mind, you're, you've been born and raised Jehovah's Witness, and you're used to just speaking to people within a congregational setting.
Right.
So now you're talking to people in any kind of setting that you could find yourself in, and what you're accustomed to is speaking about, honestly, just the Watchtower and Awake articles. When you're speaking to worldly people, you're used to speaking about, you're used to witnessing to them. Mm-hmm. So now you want to come up to somebody and be comfortable? What's that?
Did you hear me? And have you made Jesus the Lord and Savior? That's what we used to say when we knock on the doors. That's what we used to say back in the day. You made Jesus the Lord and Savior? Would you like this tract? You don't walk up to a woman and say that, please.
No, okay. Well, what's a good thing to? Is there anything that kind of works in any setting? Because as a witness, when you come up to most doors, there's something that you can say. Hello, my name is such and such, and we're doing such and such. Then you go into your presentation. It's just that easy. Is there anything that you can, not to categorize women, but is there, something that guys can come up and say to a woman? Because you're really a fish out of water. And I would hate for guys or women coming out of the organization to really be fearful of approaching a quote unquote worldly person of the opposite sex in order to, spark up a conversation.
Well, you know what? We had talked about this over the phone. And like I said then, to spark up a conversation, it's just that. It's not a business. It's not, Jehovah's Witnesses, you have to remember everything you taught is programming to help them with their business.
Right.
Now you're dealing with something intimate and personal. So if you get out of that business mindset and just remember, this person is the person that you want to approach is no better than you. And this is not a business meeting. It's not an elders meeting. It's not two people trying to get to know each other so we can get married tomorrow. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is just me, and I say me because I am a woman, and I like to be, I like a man to be the aggressor, but because I live in California too, it's the dynamic and the society out here is a little different. So I approach men too.
Wow.
I've approached men. Yeah, it's not a big deal. It's not, but it could be something just as simple as when men approach me. Now, I don't want you to be thinking I'm not going around just
right
on my, just every route. No, but I'm just saying I have done it. It's not a big deal. And in today's society, that's the whole thing. It's just really not that big of a deal. What you do is you just spark up a conversation. You go up to her and just tell her exactly how you feel. Now, don't tell her what you feeling inside, and don't, put all your feelings out there. That's not what I'm saying. But you can tell her what you're thinking, and you will get respect. And if she's not respecting you, that's just not the person that you don't want. That's the person that you don't want to be with. But you can just walk up to her. I mean, if you see something that you like, if you like her shoes, if you like her dress, whatever, you just walk up to her. Just comment her on something that she has on that you like. If you like her hair, I get that a lot. I like your hairstyle. I like your natural. I really like that, and that's just sparking up a conversation. It's something as easy as that.
Yeah.
Now, with that, we can go on and on with conversation. And this is not just by Black men, but again, I live in California, so it's a melting pot. It's very diverse out here.
Right.
That could be from a white man, Black man, Indian man, but that's just a conversation being built. Now, by the end of that, if the attraction is mutual, we'll have exchange numbers, and then maybe a date will be set. But if not, it was just cool conversation, and that just heightens your energy and your confidence because and that's just anybody. And you know what I would recommend too? I would recommend that even if it's someone that you might not be romantically attracted to, I I would just say maybe just practice while you out. If a person sees another person, work on complimenting that person. I like your shirt. I do that all the time. I compliment everybody. But that just builds your social skills because I know, because I could tell from talking to some of my mother's friends that their social skills is just off because they were in that cult for so long. Well, they're still there.
Yeah.
But it's just complimenting people, just being cool. What? I like your shoes. I like that hat. Where you get that hat from? It's that, and it's something genuine. It's not fake. You just being yourself.
Yeah.
And of course you would put it in your own words, but just sparking up that conversation. And if the conversation is going good, especially if you see that woman smile, just ask her. Do you mind if I have your number? Let's go get coffee. You like coffee? That's simple. You didn't ask her on a date. You just said, "Can I have your number? Let's talk sometime." Then when you talk to her later, then you can ask her on a date. But it's something that simple. Just finding something that you guys have in common or that you like about her, approach her, and just compliment her. That's what I say. I mean, all women, I don't care who. If a woman says she doesn't like a compliment, she's lying. We all love them. Now, we don't go around begging for them, but who doesn't like to be complimented, right?
Right.
I think men like to be complimented too. So it's always good to start off with that.
Now, what if you are talking to somebody and they're in a group setting? Because oftentimes you're not just going to walk up to a girl and she's going to be by herself. Okay. She's going to be maybe at the mall with her friends, wherever it may be, or maybe in the if you're walking by her in the street and she's busy, what about those situations? Because the obvious, I walk up to a girl, she's by herself, alone, plenty of time to talk. That may not always happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So this has just been my experience. But again, it depends on, first you have to realize, but first that person has to remember where he's at, what city he lives in, the cultural differences, all of that plays a factor. But not only that, I think that an ex-J-Dub really has to learn how to gauge and read people.
Yeah.
So it just depends on that person. Now, me, personally, because I'm just a socialite, I don't care. I can compliment somebody and keep it moving, regardless if you're in a setting or not. But I know for men that might be different, like you said. But yeah, it's just the same. It's the same thing. I can give you an example of something I went through to where I was at a bar with a girlfriend of mine, and it was me and her, but it was her birthday. And the guy obviously knew it was her birthday, but he wanted to talk to me.
Right.
But I was trying to make it about her birthday. I really wasn't interested at that time. But I gave him my number, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because he saw that it was her birthday because she had on a birthday hat, even though we were at the bar. So he kind of went through my friends, but in my face, he went through my friends. So it was cute the way he did it. It was attractive to me, even though I wasn't feeling him at all. But the way he did it was respectful. He paid her birthday wishes. He said, "What can I get for y'all birthday?" And blah blah blah. And and then he was talking to her for a minute, and he was like, "Do you mind if I talk to your friend? She's really really cute. I think she's really, I think I like her." And so my friend looked at me, and I looked at her, and I said no. But my friend was like, "Yeah." So I was like, "I'm just playing," Then we start. But that was one way, that was one way that worked for me. But I would say, yeah, if she's with a group of friends and they look like they're tight, they really, really tight, go up and talk to the group. It don't hurt, because the worst that a woman can say is no. If she goes beyond that, that's not the woman you want to be with. If she just does the most, she heck a ghetto, or she's bougie, or act like she's not, she's too good, that's not the person that you want to be with anyway. But if she just says, "You know what, no, I'm not interested," which I've said that, everyone has said that, everyone's been turned down, it's not the end of the world. There's plenty of fish in the sea. Keep it moving. Okay, no problem. You have a good night. You have a good day, and keep it moving.
Yeah.
Just think of it like that. Don't think of it like it's the end of the world. Just it's hard dating is hard when you first get into it, but once you just start realizing that this is all just practice for you to it's just practice getting you closer to the person you're supposed to be with anyway. Really.
Right.
So, yeah.
So coming out of the organization, dating is really just, the small things like talking to a girl over the phone and things like that. Now, the question I have is, if I call a girl a few times, does she know that I like her? Do I have to come out and spell it to her? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because in the organization, it doesn't take much before you're viewed as dating, quote unquote. So
that's so stupid.
Yeah, you're going into the world and you hardly even know a person, but you want to date, you want to get to know them.
That is just so stupid. Of course, yeah, no. When you're getting to know someone, just like courting to me, or wooing someone is getting to know that person. And then you date them. You go on a couple of dates. Once that's over, it's a step to these things. You have to get to know that person, which is you and that person are wooing each other. Then after that, you date each other. You go on a few dates. Then after that, you court that person. If that's the person that you want to really be the only, be in a monogamous relationship, or you really want to take it serious, then you court that person. But talking on the phone, that is a given. Not saying that, because I'm a strong believer that you have to develop a friendship first. And the only way to do that is talking, especially nowadays, talking on the phone, texting. We might meet for coffee, which those are considered dates here and there. But we're really just getting to know each other. I don't know you, you don't know me. And hopefully at that time, I don't know you've been in the cult. Because that's not something that you should be even discussing at that point, I feel.
That's a good question, though, because, hey, that's an easy thing for us to talk about. If I'm getting out of a cult, now, should I not tell a girl that? Is that going to scare her away?
That's too intimate. You're not at the dating or courtship stage yet. You at the very beginning. You just get to know somebody.
Right.
So why be that intimate? You have to hold some intimate things for yourself. Hold that for yourself, because you still don't really know that person like that, and she doesn't know you. So that's something to me, when I think of things like that, that's something sacred and intimate, because that comes with a lot of explanation, don't you feel?
Yeah.
It comes with a lot of explanation. So because it comes with a lot of explanation, it shouldn't just be divulged right out. Because if I'm not going to come up to, for instance, something that's sacred to me is, I talk about my son, but I don't go into detail with my son to someone that I'm just getting to know. This is me. Let's get to know me, and I want to get to know you.
Right.
And then as time goes on, I'm gonna tell you all about my son and what he's doing and what our plans are and things like that. But in the beginning, it's just about who you are. The being in the organization is not who Marcus or Anthony or whoever. That's not who you are. That was part of your past.
Right.
When we get to that point where we're sharing about our past, the intimate details of our past, then we get to that point. But that's too intimate for the very beginning. I wouldn't even bring that up at all. Like, at all. Unless, now, now if someone says, if someone is a godly person, like I consider I'm very spiritual. I'm not religious, but I do try to follow Christ as much as I can, or Yahshua. But when my interest right now, if I get to know someone, that is very important to me.
Mm-hmm.
But we might have a very brief conversation about that, but it's not going to be too deep. So unless someone asks you about your religious beliefs, you can just be honest about that, but you don't have to go into detail about grew up as Jehovah's Witness and they, you know, they
Mm-hmm.
did this and they did that, and you know, you feeling however you feeling, that's not for them to know at that point in the very
Okay.
beginning. That's too deep, you know. Intimate things about your past should be shared when you're intimate with that person, and that's just my belief, and that's just what I feel.
Okay.
But everybody is different. That's just me.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna ask a question. What if you see a girl and obviously you are attracted to her, but you don't want to come out and say what attracts you to her because it might not necessarily be the best conversation starter? What if what attracts you to her is physical? You don't want to just come up to a person you just met and say, you got a cute butt. You know what I mean? You can't say that.
No.
Okay, but in reality, that's something that attracted you to her. So what can you say to a person when you just want to physically
what I meant.
you know, that's what physically is attracting you to her. You
Right.
make something else up?
Yes. There has to be something else. There has to be something else.
Okay.
We are we are creatures of sight first. We like things that are attractive to our eye. So it might be to find something else. You know, find something else. A shirt, or if you like her hair. If you can't find nothing else, then come up to her and just be creative. We like that too. All women love to smile and laugh. You know, but don't just come. Now, if she's silly, like me, I'm silly like that, I might look at you crazy. I might look at you crazy, and then I might start laughing and might say thank you. But that's, again, you have to gauge your audience and kind of read who you're dealing with. So, yeah, but no, don't do that. I would recommend not, because there's not a lot of people that would probably appreciate that. But you know what? But then that's a good conversation for when you guys do start talking on the phone.
Yeah.
You know, once y'all laughed a few times, then you can say, "You remember when I first met you?" I'm gonna keep it real.
Yeah.
It was that booty that I was attracted to. But no, just don't walk up to somebody and say that. No.
Okay, so you do have to kind of be creative, like you said.
Don't lie though. Just, you know, you gotta just. It's all about having, you know, women. We call it finesse. People nowadays call it swag. I hate that word, but you know, just be cool. You know, my daddy used to say, "Act like you've been there before." Act like you've been there before.
Mm-hmm. It's
it's not a big deal.
It's all sunny where you are, bright or something. You looking like a black goddess over there. It's just glowing and everything. I mean, seriously, it is.
It is, yes. The sun came out. It was raining this morning in Oakland, California, West Side. But
right.
No, yeah, it was raining this morning and the sun came out. So, but it's slowly going down. It's a super moon tonight, so if you guys can catch the super moon. But yeah, so the sun is out, and it's just I have all my windows open because it was hot in here, but it's nice and cool now.
That's cool.
But yeah,
that's cool. So it was burning up earlier.
So yeah, that's what I would say. Just try to get out of your own head, you know. And this is a rule of thumb too. If you're a naturally judgmental person, you're going to think the next person is judging you.
Right.
No. But again, that goes back to that that cultish monarch mind control. Just get that. Try your best just to get that out of here. Get it out, because it'll just mess you up. But yeah.
That's cool.
So,
That's cool. I'm gonna switch over because it's like I gotta do this thing with this video because it does it in parts. It's like part one, part two.
okay.
So I got